to POMCLOSET. Today I'm going to be showing you how to knit a high waist shorts by using this AliExpress machine. So what do we need for this project? You will need obviously the AliExpress machine, the king size one with 46 needles. So you probably have seen many of my items that I have been using these machines. So today we're going to be using it, and the rest of the tools we're going to need are the crochet needles. So I'm going to be using two different types of the needles. So I have the smaller version of the 4mm hook. Also another one is 4mm as well. You will need the yarn needles, measuring tape, also any of your favorite yarn color. So I'm using the Gruno cotton yarn today. It's 4-ply cotton, so suitable for crochet and knitting. To begin with, just like other videos that I have shown you with the different items, so we're gonna start from the first stitch. So this machine has 46 needles. We're just gonna start from the first one. So first stitch is, and you just cast on by going front back like this. Just keep rotating the rotator. So cast on for 40 stitches. My 40 stitches is here. Once I get the 40 stitch, I will insert the yarn into the yarn slot, then close it and clear the row. So let's get back to the 0. And then we're going to knit the flat panel. This is the front piece, by the way. We're just going to come back to the other side, and you go slow for the first few rows and make sure every needle catch the yarn. So this would be the first row. And for the rest of the row, you just need to go backwards. So just go slow, and the needle catch the yarn. Like this one here, you need to make sure that the yarn goes under. So I will keep knitting backwards, forwards, backwards and forwards for 48 rows in total. I have knit 48 rows. So the flat panel, now we need to cast off 16 stitches off each side. So what we're going to do, you just grab the crochet hook, and we need to rotating the machines backwards. So 16 stitches. Now I'm at the end of stitch 40. So I will count from here. So what you need to do is just keep rotating the needles, the machine, and you transfer the first stitch into the crochet hook. You pull the yarn through, and then you chain one. Move on to the next stitch. Transfer the yarn from the needles and from the machine, and you have 2 loops like this. You just pull the yarn through, chain one. Move on to the next stitch. transfer the yarn to the crochet hook like this. So you have 2 loops on the needles and then pull the yarn through, change 1. So just keep repeating. I have cast off 16 stitches on my left hand side, and for the next stitch I'm gonna put the yarn back into the next stitch. So now I'm at the stitch number 23. So I'm gonna knit for 7 stitches. I'm gonna put the yarn back into the yarn slot. We'll knit for 7 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And for the rest I need to cast off. So by casting this off, you need to take out the yarn from the yarn slot, and then you will need to make sure you leave 7 stitches of the knitting. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. My 7's here, and I'm going to start from the 8th stitch. So by rotating the rotator, and you will transfer the stitch from the machine to the crochet hook. It's quite difficult, but you can get through it. And then I will pull the yarn through first and then chain 1, as same as the other side. And the next stitch just repeat. So you have the yarn of the next stitch, just transfer it from the machine to the crochet hook, and you will end up having 2 loops like this on the crochet hook. And you do slip stitch first, and then chain 1. So keep doing this until you reach the last stitch, which is the first stitch on the machine. At the end of the last stitch, I'm just gonna chain 1 and then cut off the yarn. It's my cutter, and you will end up having something like this. So the left and the right side of this machine, you've got 16 stitches cast off, both left and right. So now you have 7 stitches left on the machine. You need to connect the yarn back into the machine. So I will rotate the piece. This is my first stitch. So I'm going to put the yarn back into the yarn slot, and you just keep knitting as normal. So I will firstly clear all the rows, so it's get back into 0. And the first row, so actually the rotator doesn't work because it works only where we started. This is the black color, so we need to count. My first row, we just knit, so 7 stitches left. So first row you knit for 12 rows. 1, so that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And then just cast off. So by using the same method that I have shown you, just transfer the yarn from the first stitch, pull the yarn through, and then chain 1. move on to the next stitch, transfer the second loop into the crochet needles, put the yarn through, chain 1. So our front piece is finished. You will have the shape like this. Just need to adjust it into place. So the front piece is complete. We need to, I will pull this end after we've done the back piece and then see what's the measurement of these pieces. So before I do that, I need to measure this part here. So this is the bottom of our front piece. So it's 1.5 inches. The length of this piece, laying flat, it's around 12 inches. And the side is 9 inches. The width, is quite, let me measure it from this part. The width is around 19 inches. So I'm gonna do the back piece. For the back piece, we're just gonna repeat how we cast on the same as the front. You're starting from the first stitch. Each needle has their own number. So do the front, back. And I'm done with 53 rows of knitting straight. So this is a straight panel, the back piece. And we need to cast off exactly the same as on the front piece by casting off 16 stitches, both left and right. And then we will have the 7 stitches in the middle of the machine. So just repeat the same as the front piece by transfer the first stitch from the machine into the crochet needles. You put the yarn through and then chain 1. For the next stitch, just repeat. So you will have the two loops on the machine, 2 loops on the crochet hook, put the yarn through, chain 1. So do this for 16 on the left, and then you put the yarn back on into the yarn slot and then knit for 7 stitches, and then you will have 16 stitches on the other side and cast off as well. So at the end of the last stitch, you just cut off the yarn. So now you will also have the 7 inches left in the middle. So I will rotate the piece back to where we can put the yarn slot in and reconnect the yarn. You just insert, just do the same as the front piece. So put the yarn back into the yarn slot, and this time you're gonna knit for 7 rows. So I will start counting. 1, this is the second row, third row, fourth row. Need to help the yarn sometimes. 5th, 6th, and 7th. And then just cast off the same as what I have shown you. The back piece is also done, guys. So we need to lay this down. You can see it. So that is the back, and we need to put the front piece that we have done and lie this down on top of the back piece. And you will now need lots of stitch markers. So put the stitch markers on the side of the bottom, and I will put one on the top part. So leave the ends. The top part, we need to pull this in a minute, and the middle of this piece, and you can put more stitch markers on if you wish. So I will do this on the other side as well. I have the stitch markers on both sides, left and right. So now we need to connect this front and back part. This is the bottom of the front and the back part. So grab the yarn. I'm gonna use the crochet hook 4mm. So this one I always use with this kind of yarn. It's 4-ply cotton, the Gruner yarn that I have shown you at the beginning of the video. It's very thin yarn, so I need a smaller needle. And you grab the front and back piece like this. So I will actually connect the yarn with this end. This is how I connect the yarn. And then just pull it tight. Cut off the ends, and now we need to start. So right side to right side, which is the knit side to the knit side. And now we need to do just slip stitch. I need to find the end. I've lost the end. And now we need to start from the first stitch. Use the first stitches here, and the first stitch of the back piece. I would say it's here, and then you just slip stitch, and the next stitch, so this is the back loop, the other end, the back loop. I'm gonna go for back loop with back loop and then slip stitch. So make sure it's not too tight. You just have to find the stitches and keep doing this until you get to this end here. At the end I'm just gonna chain one and then cut off the yarn. So you will have the bottom of the shorts connected. It's the inside, and this is the outside, the right side. So you will need to pull the yarn from the top parts as well. So after we cast on, we will have this is it's not too beautiful on the top part where we cast on, so we need to pull the end. So the end where you cut off the yarn. So I will keep sliding this part until it's tighter, so it's not too ugly. And I need to do the other side as well. So this is the end. I'm just going to keep pulling, keep sliding. then we need to connect the side of the both left and right side. So by doing the slip stitch, the same as the bottom part. So I will connect the yarn. I will start from this side as I have the long string left. We'll connect it with more yarn and then start doing the slip stitch. So the yarn's connected. And I need to grab to my needles, the crochet hook, and you just take off the first stitch markers, and then you insert the crochet hook of the front piece and then connect it with the back piece, and then just pull the yarn through and just work towards the bottom of the top. So I have no specific stitch on this part here. I'm just gonna go along with how the crochet hook can go. So I'm just gonna keep doing this. So you get the front and the back piece together and just do the slip stitch. The needles is number 4, and just keep doing this until you reach the last stitch markers on this side, and repeat this on the other side of the short as well. After you connect the side of the short, so now we need to do the edge where the legs are. So I've done one side, and I'm going to show you how to do this on the other side. So what you need to do after you connected the pieces, this is the inside and here's the outside, or it's the right side, and you need to you don't have to cut the yarn off. We're just gonna keep going with this. So what you do, you're just gonna go for single crochets. I will do this in every 2 millimeters. So it's just the length of the single crochets. I will keep doing this route, and then we will measure this part. At the end of the row, I would say the last stitch, and I need to measure this. It's around 12 inches. So this is the 12 inches times 2, so it's 24 inches round. And to do this edge here, I will continue with 3 chains, and you get back to the first stitch and do single crochets. Next stitch, single crochets. The next stitch, single crochet, chain 3, and you just put the needle through, so it make the V upside down like this, and you put the yarn through, do the single crochets. So single crochet once, single crochet twice, chain 3, and then repeat. So I will keep doing this round, the edge of this legs part. At the end of the row, you just cut off the yarn. So now the bottom of the skirt is finished. For the ends of the yarn that we've got left, we just need to weave them in later. So you have the shape of these shorts. And we need to do the top part. I forgot to mention that we need the elastic band. So I'm going to use these for the waistband. Let me measure this. So you just go for the length of your waist. So the length of these elastic band, I'm going to measure it. This is around 20 inches. So when it's stretched, it can go up to goes up to 15 inches when it's stretched. So 15 inches when I fold it, when it's stretched, or 10 inches without stretching. So 10 inches times 2, 20 inches length because I folded. And we need to sew the two ends together. I'm gonna grab the needles and the thread and I'm gonna sew this part. So I'm just gonna go from the underneath. Just gonna go a few rounds, so make sure it doesn't move. So I do this on the other side as well. I need to trim this off. So just make sure it's tight enough. Next you need to grab the shorts and the yarn. So I'm gonna reconnect from the side of the shorts. I'm just gonna go from here. So you have the two loops here. I will connect the yarn and then tie it. So I'm working from the right side, so the knit side, and we need to get the gummy, the elastic band. And what you need to do, just position the needles like this. I'm gonna go for single crochets in every stitches. So just keep doing this. You insert the needles through. I will go one here. This is between the rows, and where you have the two loops here. So try to get very close to each other as possible. So when you wear the shorts, you don't get to see this white band. If you have the matching colors as the shorts, you can do it, but I have only the white color, so I'm just gonna use this. So you just keep going round by by doing the single crochet on top of this elastic band with the shorts. So I will continue doing until and the elastic band got inserted into the shorts. So the last stitch, I'm just gonna pull it through like this. Now I need to adjust the shorts with the elastic band. And I'm just gonna do extra tassels, strings for the bottom of, for this part here, the top of the wristband, so we can decorate it. I have done the one in white, so one short in white color. So I'm just gonna do the tassels like this. So by doing the tassels, just get 2 strands of yarn, and I'm just gonna use the wrapping techniques. So wrap around your fingers, and the thickness of these tassels, it depends on how thick you want it to be. And then tie the yarn a few rows around the needles and try to pull this through. It's very tight, but I can get through. And then you just change for the length of 150 centimeters. For this part here, I'm just gonna trim it. So I've got the strings for 150 centimeters, and I will leave the ends like this first before doing the tassels. I'm just going to insert this end where you have no tassels through the shorts. So I'll be front. This is the front piece, and the middle of the waist is here. So I'm just gonna insert the string through the shorts. I will leave it around 2 inches, and you just do the up down until you reach the other end. I've been inserting the strings through the top part of the shorts. So I will wrap around these 2 strands around my fingers 3, 4, 5 times. And you have the 2 ends here from the string. I'm just gonna pull one end through and pull this part here tight. Do it twice. And I will cut off the yarn, one piece of yarn like this, and you just wrap around the top part of the tassels and tie it. Pull tight. And for this part, I'm just going to trim it. So now you have two ends of the strings, and the bottoms now is completed. For the left over ends, you just weave them in. So the knitted high-waisted shorts is finished. This shorts fit size small, size XS and S. I really hope you liked the tutorial, guys, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel. I will see you in the next video.